Hey everybody, it's Glenn back with another Clash Royale analysis video. You know, a couple weeks ago I did a video about the 10 lessons I learned playing with Expo 2.9 Expo for a month. And one of the things that I should have put was use the Expo on both sides and keep my opponent guessing, because that's what I want to talk about with this game right here in the Orange Crown League playoffs. We got ZeroOne versus Arctic Gaming. We're going to be taking a look at Hector, who is using 2.9 Expo, going up against Durga. Here we go. And this was the first game of the first set in their match. And right when I saw that Hector was using 2.9 Expo, I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Let's take a look and see how he does it. We've seen Expo being used in the pros a little bit more than we have in the past couple years. So nothing really doing in the beginning for Hector. He's just kind of cycling, just kind of trying to feel out what Durga is trying to go with right here. And he has a Prince, plays it in the back, but it hits the Ice Golem and it's going to meet the Tesla, so this should be fine. And Durga brings out a Barbarian Barrel to try to protect the Prince, but Tesla finishes that off, plus 2 Princess Tower. So really nothing going on. We don't know what his win condition is unless it is Prince, but that would be really unlikely, especially in this stage of the playoffs. So far, about halfway through regular time, and Hector still hasn't used his Expo. Just kind of cycling through, I would presume at this point, and he just played the Expo right here, I presume at this point that Hector knows that his most important card that is not Expo is Tesla, followed by the Archers. So now he plays Expo, but it's a defensive Expo. Durga answers that with the Poison, plays it on that side of the tower. So now I'm kind of wondering, okay, is Durga going to go on the right to try to do more damage to the right side tower? He doesn't. He plays Prince on the left. And I thought that was a little fascinating because of what Prince was attempting to do there, and he didn't get it. So let's rewind that for a moment here. So we have Prince played in the back, and you can see that Prince hits that Ice Golem, and I don't think that was intended. I think the idea was to get the Ice Golem to go down by the Princess Tower. Meanwhile, the Ice Explosion hits the remaining part of the Tombstone, and now the skeletons that come from the Tombstone protect the Prince, who will have his charge set up. I think that was kind of the idea, but just a little bit of, I wouldn't say bad timing, but it's just kind of early that it ended up being Prince taking care of the Ice Golem. And now we do have the skeletons that are kind of escorting the Prince, but the Prince still gets hit, and that Ice Golem, the Ice Spirit stops the Prince just long enough with the Tesla, with the Archers. So far, nothing doing really on both sides. And when I saw Hector use that Fireball, I was thinking, okay, well, he's probably just going to Fireball cycle. There's no reason to do anything else until now, when we see that Durga goes with Graveyard Poison. Although I do want to rewind this for a moment here, because I thought this was interesting too. We see that the Archers are playing in the back here, and Hector goes with Fireball. I think he's just trying to cycle at this point. That's kind of what I was thinking about when he dropped that Fireball. So we see that when the Graveyard was played, Hector went with Log and then Archers. I think of everything that happened in this game, that was probably the only questionable move by Hector, because he could have just waited a little bit. I think he could have just waited a little bit. He had, at the time that he played Log, he had Archers in his hand. but played log first and then played archers. If he played the archers, if he just had waited probably 1 second, he would have the archers in a spot where it would not have been hit by the poison, and it would have been able to get all of the skeletons that were in the vicinity. But instead, he goes with the log first, then archers, and the archers are gone. Then he has to play Ice Spirit there to try to save that tower. And now Hector goes with the Expo, the Ice Golem, because he has 2 Teslas that are protecting it, even though they're in a little bit to the back and the side. Now he has a Tesla in the front, and this is dangerous. So it's up to Durga to figure out, okay, how am I going to break through this? He gets through that part, uses poison, Prince drops the whole everything on it, and this is what I thought was really the great play by Hector. He wasn't staying on the left side. He was not going to keep attacking the left side tower. There's a couple reasons for that. As you can see here, his tower on this side is 1768. So if he keeps playing on the left side, then all Durga has to do is just kind of cycle through and keep using poison, and then there goes that tower possibly, and that's the game. But by Hector going to the right side, he's telling Durga, okay, you know what? I could go any which way I want because it's still fairly close. I mean, I'm going to say it's only 400 HP tower difference, but that isn't much when you consider how deadly an Expo is and how well they you can fireball to get back into the game. But I thought that was really key by Hector to say, hey, I'm going to go on the right side now. I'm going to go on the opposite side, and I'm going to attack. And now, even if Durga takes down this Expo, he's going to have to start guessing, okay, which way is Hector going? So by just playing on this side, Hector's now dictated the pace of the rest of the game, even though his tower is lowest at this point. So here comes Durga bringing in Prince and Ice Whiz, Barbarian Barrel, Poison, having to drop everything to make sure that that Expo does not do anything, and it doesn't. So which way is Hector going? He's going on the right side. He's staying on the right side, and that was really unfortunate for Durga. It's really fortunate for Hector because there went that Ice Whiz instead of the Tombstone. But, hey, it's still... Expo still didn't get anything on the tower. Now which way is Hector going? He's going on the left now. There goes the Tombstone. Here comes the Ice Whiz. That's what Durga was hoping would happen on the opposite side earlier. Can Prince get there? No, and Hector gets a connection on the tower. And, I mean... whenever an Expo gets a connection on the tower at any point, it feels soul-crushing. So, because Hector got that connection, he's staying on the left side. Ice Whiz trying to distract the Expo. Here comes Prince, but all those troops are just going to slow him down. And now we got 2 Teslas protecting the Expo. So, even though that poison stops it, this is... really good for Hector. I mean, this Expo play was really good. What I think was the key was for Hector to say, okay, I'm going to play on one side, and I'm also going to play on the other side. And now, even though you take away both, you're going to have to guess. I'm dictating what is happening, and it's up to you to answer. And in this game, Hector played it really well. I mean, he could use that fireball as defense instead of having to take down 201 damage on the tower. That's how well he was ahead. And this was a really good win by Hector to start off the playoffs for 0-1 against Arctic Gaming. Hector going into this game was 23-18. He was one of the best players. No, he is in terms of win-loss. He's one of the best players on his team for ZeroOne, one of the top 10 players in terms of win rate. You know, it wasn't too bad for Durga. I mean, unfortunately, he lost this game, but he was entering this game. He was 27-18, a 600 win rate. I mean, he's right in the top 20, but still one of the best players in terms of win rates for Arctic Gaming. But in this game, this was Hector, and he dictated the pace and really delivered a really key win for ZeroOne to kick off this round of the playoffs. So congrats to Hector, congrats to ZeroOne on this win. I'm going to end the video right here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe wherever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.